Oleta River State Park looks like the perfect escape from Miami's noise. A peaceful place where families bike, kayakers glide through mangrove tunnels, and the sound of the city fades into nothing. But if you ask longtime locals, former police officers, or the people who have discovered things they wish they hadn't, they'll tell you Oleta has a different side, a hidden side. Deep in the mangroves, the state park doesn't advertise. A side where people have vanished, bodies have surfaced, and mysteries have remained silent for decades. In today's video, we're entering one of the darker sides of one of Florida's most beautiful parks, a place where nature hides more than it reveals, and where the water carries secrets it never gives back. To understand why Oleta became such a hotspot for unsolved cases, you have to understand the park itself. The park is more than 1,000 acres of mangrove forest, a maze of roots, narrow tunnels, thick mud, and brackish water that looks so shallow, but it drops sharply in the hidden pockets. When you step into the mangroves, you step into another world. Sounds disappear, light dims, and the path behind you becomes impossible to trace. Mangroves are nature's camouflage. Their roots twist together like skeletal hands. Their branches block the sky. Their shadows swallow everything. For police, mangroves are a nightmare. They hide footprints, they swallow evidence, they make it nearly impossible to tell where someone entered or where they were taken. It's this environment, beautiful, silent, and unforgiving, that sets the stage for nearly every mystery at Oleta River State Park. So let's dive in to one of the most disturbing stories of the park. On a calm Sunday morning, two kayakers were exploring one of Oleta's narrow channels, the kind that only locals know about. Far from the main launch area, it was quiet, too quiet. As they paddled around a bend, one of them noticed something resting on a small mud flat. At first, he thought it was driftwood, but then the shape became clear. A round, smooth surface, bleached by the sun. An empty eye socket staring back. A human skull. Panic hit instantly. They backed their kayaks away and dialed 911. When investigators arrived, they realized something unsettling. The remains weren't new. The bones had been there for months, maybe longer. The skull was lodged between mangrove roots so tightly that it seemed placed there, intentionally or by the tide. No one could really say for sure. But the questions immediately grew darker. How does a person end up so far back in the mangroves? Why hadn't anyone noticed? And why was there no clothing, no ID, no signs of a camp, no report of a missing kayaker or anything? The police gathered the remains, but the body was too decomposed to determine a cause of death. Even more chilling, the identity took 2 weeks to confirm, and the exact circumstances surrounding the person's disappearance remained unsolved. As you can imagine, seeing something so gruesome, those kayakers never returned to that part of the park. But there's more to it. Years later, another case shook Oleta. This time discovered by a fisherman. He had been casting lines before sunrise, standing on a secluded shoreline where most visitors never go. He noticed something tangled in the roots below. At first, he assumed it was a large fish or animal carcass washed up by the tide. But as he leaned over and pulled back the brush, he froze. It was a human, a body half buried in mud and plant debris. The legs twisted unnaturally, the torso partially submerged. The police arrived within minutes. The scene was disturbing. The area was so isolated, the officers had to cut through thick mangrove branches to access the site. Decomposition had advanced so far that the medical examiner couldn't immediately tell whether it was a homicide, an accident, or something else entirely. But there was one detail investigators never publicly clarified. How did the body get there? The mud was too thick for casual hikers, the water was too shallow for boats, and the vegetation was too dense for someone to wander in by mistake. If someone put the body there, they had to know exactly where to hide it. This case, too, remains a mystery. You have to remember also, Oleta isn't only known for murder mysteries and the bodies that it found. We're also talking about Miami. So back in the 70s, 80s in the cocaine cowboy era, Oleta was featured in that. To understand why Oleta has so many strange stories, like I said, we have to go back to the 70s, 80s, the cocaine cowboys era. Miami wasn't just dangerous, it was the Wild West. Smugglers used every inlet, every canal, and every mangrove pocket they could find, and Oleta was no other than one of their favorites. Small boats could slip in quietly, drop packages under the mangrove canopies, stash shipments in pockets of forest where no ranger could ever get to. Even retired officers have admitted that nighttime surveillance around Oleta was very common back then. They watched for strange lights on the water, quiet boats moving without navigation signals, or sudden cutoffs of the engine, followed by long stretches of silence. If a deal went wrong, if someone stole from a supplier, if a person needed to be made an example of, the Mangroves of Oleta were right there at the right time to hide all the evidence. And many detectives today believe this era left behind more victims than we'll ever know. With that said, let's get back to some of the missing stories. Over the years, several missing person cases in North Miami, Aventura, and Sunny Isles have had suspicious connections to Oleta River State Park. In at least one of these cases, a person was last seen only a few blocks from the park. Their car was found near the river. They were never recovered. But in another case, a hiker who frequently visited Oleta vanished without a trace. No phone, no backpack, no signs of a struggle. Searches were launched, boats were deployed, and drones were sent up, but nothing was ever found of them. So the problem is, once you're inside the mangroves, the park becomes a labyrinth. You can be 10 feet from a search team, but they'll never see you. It's also the perfect environment for strong currents to carry remains miles from where a person originally entered the water. This is why Oleta River System is often checked whenever someone disappears nearby. Even when the media never connects the dots, investigators won't say the park is a hotspot for disappearances, but they also won't say it isn't. During the day, Oleta looks harmless. Families ride bikes, couples kayak, tourists take photos, but after sunset, the park completely transforms. The wind dies, the water turns still, animals move differently, and the trails go dark, pitch black. There are no crowds, no rangers, no cameras, no witnesses. Fishermen who stay past closing have reported hearing things they can't explain. Splashes where nothing is visible, footsteps along trails no one should be walking, soft voices echoing in the mangroves, or the sound of a boat engine cutting, followed by absolute silence. Even experienced kayakers refuse to go near the mangrove tunnels after sunset, not because of animals, but because the darkness inside the tunnels feels unreal, as if the trees are hiding something. One local described it perfectly. Oleta at night feels like someone is watching you. After decades of investigations, disappearances, and mysterious discoveries, one thing has become clear. Oleta River State Park is the perfect hiding place. Its size, its mangroves, its water systems, its history as a smuggling route, it's the complete lack of visibility at night. It creates the perfect storm. If someone wants to vanish, intentionally or not, the park can swallow them whole. If someone wants to hide a body, the mangroves are protected. If someone wants to dump evidence, the tides will erase it. Nature does the covering, but time does the rest. And that is why Oleta remains one of the most quietly chilling places in South Florida. Not because of ghosts, not because of legends, because of real events, true stories, where answers may never be found. Next time someone bikes under the shade of Oleta's trees, or through the tunnel of a mangrove root, or stand quietly near the shoreline on the beach. They may never realize how close they are to a place where someone vanished, where bodies were found, where secrets will lie and buried there beneath the mud. Oleta River State Park is beautiful, don't get me wrong, it's an amazing place to go. I've been there numerous times. I went for this video. It's a great place, but every great place has a dark memory. So this channel isn't really a super scary dark channel, but every now and then we're gonna cover some little true crime videos of outside. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my first time talking on a video, so hope you guys liked it. Thank you. Just subscribe.